Greetings, everyone. Rajee Narinesingh here, transgender activist, actress, spiritualist, author, show host, and reality TV personality. I'm also an outreach advocate for Trans Social, a trans-led, trans-focused organization. And I'm an anchor at Queer News Tonight at the LGBTQ plus Happening Out TV network. So, boy, does time fly. Time really goes fast. I remember when my sister and I were growing up, we would always rush time. We rushed our birthdays. We rushed Christmas. And my mom would look at the two of us and say, okay, you two, you better enjoy. Stop rushing, because after 21, time is going to fly. And she did not lie. It is so true. I remember being in my early 20s like it was just yesterday. And I think a lot of it has to do with, as adults, we just have, a lot more of a dynamic life. We're busier. But like I said, Mom did not lie, okay? So, speaking about time, a moment in time, wow. I believe that everyone has a reason and a season. And for the most part, we don't know when our time here is going to be done. I mean, I guess unless you're committing suicide and you're shooting yourself in the head. And that's a whole other video. But for the most part, I think most of us don't know for sure when, that moment comes where you will have to leave. You won't be in the earthly realm anymore. Because, I do believe that to the core of all of us, we are divine, living, vibrational energy of existence. And I do feel like in some form we live on. But what I'm trying to say is that there will be that moment where you have to leave the planet. You have to leave this realm. And so recently, I have two friends that lost loved ones. One of my friends lost her son, young man, early 20s, and another friend lost someone who she tells me was just unconditional love to her, and they had been friends for over 20 years. Both of these people died suddenly in accidents. So it was just that moment in time, and it happened, and they're gone. I had an experience a few weeks ago, and let me tell you, I don't take any day for granted. I do live my life with that, awareness that, tomorrow isn't guaranteed for me. So I do live that way. But I had an experience a few weeks ago that really brought that home for me, okay? It affirmed that for me, that at any given moment, it can be your time. So, for those of you all who live here in South Florida, USA, Broward County, to be, specific, I think most people know where the Hustler store is on Sunrise Boulevard and 15th Avenue. I was at that light. I had the red light. And I was driving north on 15th Avenue, about to turn left going east on Sunrise Boulevard. So I'm at the red light and waiting for the light to change. And going across Sunrise, going east across in front of me, two trucks were driving. And one of the trucks, I guess he gauged the amount of space that he had and ended up clipping the truck that was riding in the lane in front of me. Well, before I know it, this truck is barreling towards me and it's going to hit me head on. Oh my God. I must have looked like a deer in headlights. I could feel my eyes were open wide, my mouth was open, and all I could say is, oh my God. And it was like time slowed down. It was like everything was in slow motion. I was seeing it in slow motion. And I wish I could kiss and hug the driver of the truck that was about to hit me. I don't know if he would have liked that, but when I tell you, an excellent driver, in a matter of seconds, he was able to get control of that truck and swerve it. It was a matter of a few seconds, it would have slammed into me. He swerved the truck just in time that it didn't hit me, and it ended up going up on the curve, and I think it hit a pole. I slammed into like a pole or something, but talk about my heart in my throat. And then my light changes. I have the green light, and I make my left onto Sunrise Boulevard going west, and I go along my merry little way. But I tell you, as I was driving, I kept thinking, oh my God, that scene could have looked very different for me. That scene, that scenario could have been my final moments here on the planet. Really. It was just a matter of seconds. Now, maybe it wouldn't have killed me. Maybe I would have been hurt badly. But it could have killed me. It could have been that moment. So, as I've been thinking about life and our time here, everyone has a reason and a season. I don't think it's so much about the quantity of time that we have here as it's more about the quality. So not so much how much time you have here, but what you do with your time here and the people that you touch while you're here. I remember a sweet little boy many years ago when I was working at the American Red Cross. His name was Blair, and he was 6 years old. And Blair was just the sweetest little boy, so kind and loving, and I would say definitely an old soul. It was almost like he had been here before, and didn't bat an eye when it came to me, like, me being trans, and at that time, I was kind of like in the androgynous stage, so I was in between, but he just always, showed me love and compassion, and it was just very sweet with me. And Blair was, actually it was summertime, so he was in Jamaica. His mom, and just to give you the background story, I worked with his mom. His mom was a coworker of mine, and so she would bring him into the job, and so I would see him, from time to time when she'd bring him in. And so anyway, the summertime had come, and she sent him to Jamaica to spend some time in Jamaica for the summer. So my girlfriend Sharon, she gets a call from Jamaica. I think it's probably on a Sunday, and they tell her that Blair doesn't seem like himself. He's not eating, he has low energy, he's just not himself. So they're going to take him to the doctor tomorrow, which would be Monday. So anyway, take him to the doctor. They call Sharon, my coworker friend, on Monday and tell her that the doctor is saying that he's very sick and he needs to come back to the States, to South Florida. So they booked the flight Tuesday. He's on a plane back here to South Florida. Now, what I found, I tell you, a lot of times, when things happen, it's almost like it's happening in warp speed, especially when you're talking about it. I guess in the moment, not so much, you don't feel it that way, but talking about it. So, and literally with him, I really do feel like it was so quick. His mom picks him up at the airport, And she's driving him home to take him to the doctor the next day. But on the way home, he gets sick in the car. So she goes directly to the emergency room. They admit him. They run all these tests. Wednesday, she is told that he has leukemia. Blair has leukemia. And then, it spread around the job. Like, we all knew Wednesday that he had leukemia. Thursday, Blair passed away. Now, the interesting thing to me was, I found out afterwards, after he passed, that at the airport, he, was saying goodbye before he got on the plane. And, his family, they were hugging him. His uncle gave him a hug and said, you're going to go home to your mom, and you're going to go to the doctors, and you're going to get all better. And, maybe I'll see you next summer. And he looked at his uncle and he says, no, you're not going to see me again. I'm going to die. But I'll be okay. I'm going to be just fine. And his uncle, of course, said, don't say that, And he says, yes, I'm going to die. And I found that, oh my gosh, like extremely profound. That that little boy, knew that, or had a feeling that his time here was going to be up. And so the funeral, oh my God. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And so many people came out. It was like over 100 people. It had to be like 150, 200 people. And while I was there, I couldn't help to think, my God, this little boy was 6 years old. And in his short 6 years, look at all the people that he touched. And that is what I'm talking about when I say quality versus quantity. How you live your life. What you do with your time here. The people that you touch. The things that you do to contribute to existence in positive ways. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not come. What we have is the moment, the now, the eternal now. So I just like to encourage you all to embrace your moments and live life. Live life. Live today like it's your last. Really. Because it could be. On that note, I want to wish everyone a happy New Year's. Many blessings for 2023. And if you're watching this video 1,000 years from now, I'm sure this message is just as profound as it is in 2022. I hope that, in other words, I just want to say, I hope that I've touched you in a positive and impactful and uplifting way. So, on that note, I'm just going to wish everyone love, happiness, peace, good health, prosperity, and many wonderful blessings.